Hi, welcome back to Joe's DIY. I'm back again with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about this FM AM Walkman made by Sony. Still one of those made in Japan, but it's not really a high-end one. It's more of a lower end because it's got the plastic dials and the plastic buttons. So it's not going to be like a very high-end Walkman that I'm going to be fixing up today. But it's still a very nice one that I like to show how to repair. And before we get into that, I also wanted to mention that in the next couple of videos I'll be doing a lot of smaller gadgets because I have a big stack of them that I found recently at the Goodwill, and I would like to share them, unbox some of them, because we're talking about stuff from the 90s that I would love to unbox and show on our channel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in the next couple of videos, just to kind of a heads up of what's coming. Okay, so this is another Goodwill find that I found recently. This is a Sony Walkman WM-F41 or -F41. Typically made in Japan, the type of Walkmans came with this metal shell, and this is all plastic. So, I mean, it still looks kind of nice. It's got that retro look to it. We're gonna go ahead and take it apart and see what's going on. I already cleaned out the terminals for the battery because they were leaky, and I also had to clean out some of the residue left behind by the battery, which is gone now, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so before I get started on this, I almost forgot to mention that this actually has bad belts, or a bad belt. I tried to run a tape here and it didn't work. The radio works. So therefore I know that the Walkman works. It's just that we need to replace the belt that goes on the wheels and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started right now. Here's the inside of the cassette deck. Yeah, and as you can see, that if the camera catches that, but now that belt is pretty much toast. It basically just disintegrated right as I was trying to pull it out. I'm gonna go ahead and give some tweezers so I can make sure that this thing doesn't make a mess inside the mechanism. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Yeah, it's just falling apart right as I'm trying to pull it out. And it's just a paste at this point. I'm gonna try not to make a mess here. I'm gonna try to get something to pick this off my table because I don't want this mess here. So give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the aftermath of those belts. Yeah, that goo is pretty unforgiving. I was able to get it off with some Goo Gone, basically, but yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove the other remnants of this belt, and hopefully not making a mess either. I don't think this wheel pulls out. No, it does not. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to very gently pull it up. There's just one little tiny piece. I think I'm just gonna have to get one of these cotton swabs and try to get it out like that, hopefully without trying to make too big of a mess here. Okay, so lucky for us, I think I was able to remove all of it without making a big mess, and I don't even think I need to wipe the wheels down. So yeah, forgive me for calling them wheels. I at this point, they look like wheels. I'm going to call them wheels. I know that there's a better pinch rollers or whatever you want to call them, but I can tell you this is the motor. You know, this is one thing I wanted to say before I move on to the next step, is that this is what this channel is all about. You know, you know, we're all beginners. I'm a beginner in some ways, you know, and I'm confident enough to try to take these things apart and try to, you know, fix them as best I can. You know, I never claim to be any kind of expert. You know, I don't know the technical terms many times. You know, I try my best when I do know them. So just bear that in mind when you're writing down any comments on my video. Nonetheless, I mean, you're free to write whatever you want, but I'm just explaining myself at this point. All right, we're gonna go ahead and find some belts, and yes, I'm gonna use the variety pack. As you've seen in my previous video, choosing from a variety pack does not really impact the cassette player, as long as you find, you know, a size comparable to what it was supposed to have. You should be fine. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and do a sound test after we're done, so that you can listen to the cassette deck playing, or the portable tape player. Okay, so finally got the belts replaced, and as you can see, I mean, they have just enough give that the motor is going to be able to perfectly function the way I'm pulling it right now. It's not too stiff. Same thing with the other cap stand, or whatever you want to call it. The belt is reasonably loose enough that it's not gonna not want to rotate, so it's rotating perfectly fine right there. But the problem is that I went ahead and I put, let me see if I can do that. I put on some brand new batteries, some batteries there, and I get absolutely nothing. As you can see, the tape just does not go. Check the radio again. The radio still works. It's just that I'm not getting any power here. So I suspect that probably one of the caps is not good, and unfortunately I don't really have the equipment to try to fix that, or at least the equipment to try to fix that in a practical way, because unfortunately, I mean, this thing is not really that expensive, so I don't think it's worth, you know, me going through the trouble of changing all the caps when I could probably find another one of these maybe for 20 bucks online working. So I think I'm gonna end up I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the attempt to fix this. I will go ahead and play some radio into my setup so you can kind of hear the sound of it, but other than that, unfortunately I can't really get the tape part working. I have to say that it's definitely something having to do with the caps, because even when I put this the stereo right into this little preamp, I'm not getting any, you know, a loud reception or loud sound out of the radio stations that are playing. I'll give you just a quick sample. I mean, I have this cranked up all the way to the max, and this is basically the best. This is the best sound I can get, and it's not really that loud. So I suspect that the capacitors here are pretty much shot out, and you probably need to be replaced. And I'm not gonna do that at this time because I just don't have the equipment. But even if I crank it up, I mean, you're not even on the I mean, you get nothing. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this video like this for now. I wasn't able to really give you a good sound sample because I think there's a lot more problems that I can handle right now to fix this. So with that said, I think I'm gonna have to end my video now. You know, sometimes it just works out that way that I don't get a chance to fix it. I mean, it doesn't happen to me very often, but this time around I just don't have the equipment to try to fix this. So thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.